Is your transmission acting weird? Maybe slamming into gear or refusing to shift out of first, leaving you stuck in limp mode while that check engine light stares you down? You might be dealing with a P0712 trouble code, which stands for Transmission Fluid Temperature Sensor A Circuit Low Input. This sounds like a mouthful, but stick with me because understanding this can save you a ton of money on transmission repairs. Basically, your car's computer, the PCM, needs to know exactly how hot the transmission fluid is so it can decide when to shift gears and how much pressure to apply to the clutch. It uses a sensor, often buried inside the transmission oil pan, to figure this out. This sensor is what we call a thermistor, specifically a negative temperature coefficient type. In plain English, that just means when the temperature goes up, the electrical resistance inside the sensor goes down. The code P0712 pops up when the computer sees a signal voltage that is way too low, which it usually interprets as the transmission fluid being impossibly hot, often indicating a short circuit somewhere. Now, before you go ripping the transmission pan off, you need to be smart about this diagnosis. Start by looking at the wiring harness on the outside of the transmission. Is it pinched? Is it melted? If that looks okay, grab your scan tool. Here is a pro tip that works on most vehicles, like Fords, Toyotas, or Hondas. With the scan tool plugged in and monitoring the transmission temperature data, unplug the sensor connector. If the temperature value on your screen drops to a crazy low number, like -40 degrees, that is a good sign your wiring to the computer is fine. You can verify this further by taking a jumper wire and connecting the two terminals on the harness side together. If the scan tool now reads a super high temperature, congratulations, your wiring and computer are perfect, and the problem is likely just the sensor itself. However, if the reading does not change when you fiddle with the wires, you might be chasing a wiring issue up toward the computer. You can also test the sensor directly with a multimeter set to ohms. Watch the resistance as the engine warms up. It should drop smoothly. If it stays stuck or jumps around, that sensor is toast. Don't ignore this code, because driving with incorrect transmission pressures can burn out your clutches in no time.